On the morning of August 6, 1945, a single bomb dropped from the sky, and in less than a minute, an entire city was turned into a living nightmare. Hiroshima was not just destroyed, it was forever changed. This is not just the story of war, but the story of humanity standing on the edge of annihilation. Stay with me, because this is the day the world changed forever. The story of Hiroshima begins in the final desperate months of World War II. Japan had been fighting for years, its empire stretched thin, its cities bombed night after night. Yet surrender was unthinkable for the Japanese leadership. Across the Pacific, the United States was preparing for an invasion of Japan's home islands, an invasion that military planners feared would cost millions of lives on both sides. And so, in secret, a weapon unlike any other was being prepared, the atomic bomb. The Manhattan Project brought together the brightest scientific minds of the age. For years they worked in secrecy to unlock the terrifying power of the atom. By July 1945, the weapon was ready. Tested in the deserts of New Mexico, the explosion lit up the night sky with a brilliance never before seen by human eyes. Scientists knew in that moment that the world had changed forever. Yet no one could predict what would happen when such power was unleashed upon a city full of people. Hiroshima was chosen as the target. It was a military hub, a communications center, and unlike other Japanese cities, it had been spared heavy bombing. That meant the full impact of the atomic bomb could be measured. At 8:15 a.m. on August 6th, a B-29 bomber named Enola Gay released a bomb nicknamed Little Boy. It floated down silently, attached to a small parachute, as the city beneath it began another ordinary morning. Children walked to school. Workers headed to factories. Families prepared breakfast. In seconds, everything would change. The explosion that followed defied imagination. A blinding flash brighter than the sun lit the sky. A fireball thousands of degrees erupted, vaporizing everything at its center. Buildings collapsed instantly. A shockwave tore through the city, shattering windows miles away. Within minutes, Hiroshima was engulfed in firestorms so intense that people simply disappeared. Shadows burned onto walls where they once stood. Tens of thousands died instantly. Tens of thousands more suffered burns, injuries, and radiation that no one understood at the time. Survivors, known today as hibakusha, would later tell their stories. They spoke of rivers filled with bodies, of people wandering with skin hanging from their arms, of a silence so heavy that it was broken only by cries of pain. Mothers searching for children, children searching for parents, entire families erased in an instant. The human cost was beyond comprehension. Hiroshima, once a vibrant city, was now a landscape of ash and ruin. But the horror did not end that day. Radiation began to spread through the city, invisible and deadly. Many who survived the initial blast fell ill in the days and weeks that followed. Hair fell out. Skin blistered. Internal organs failed. Doctors were powerless. No one had ever seen such symptoms before. In the months after the bombing, thousands more perished. Survivors carried the scars, both physical and emotional, for the rest of their lives. The world, too, would never be the same. News of Hiroshima stunned the globe. Never before had humanity wielded such destructive power. Just 3 days later, a second bomb fell on Nagasaki, bringing even more devastation. Within a week, Japan surrendered and World War II came to an end. But victory carried a haunting price, the knowledge that humankind now had the ability to destroy itself in a single moment. The bombing of Hiroshima sparked a debate that continues to this day. Was it necessary? Some argue it ended the war quickly, saving countless lives that would have been lost in an invasion. Others insist it was an act of unimaginable cruelty, targeting civilians with a weapon of mass destruction. There is no simple answer, only the weight of tragedy and the burden of memory. For the survivors, life after Hiroshima was a struggle not just with health, but with identity. The Hibakusha often faced discrimination, feared by others who believed radiation sickness could be contagious. Many lived in silence, carrying their trauma privately. Yet some chose to speak, turning their pain into a warning for future generations. Their message was clear: never again. Today, Hiroshima is a city of peace. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park stands where the bomb fell, with the ruins of the atomic dome preserved as a reminder. Each year on August 6th, people from around the world gather to remember, to mourn, and to hope. The city has rebuilt itself, but it has never forgotten. The shadow of the bomb lingers not just in Hiroshima, but in the conscience of all humanity. The story of Hiroshima is not just history, it is a mirror. It forces us to confront what we are capable of, both in destruction and in resilience. It reminds us that science, while powerful, carries consequences that must be faced with responsibility. And it challenges us to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. So, was Hiroshima the day the war ended, or was it the day the world stepped into a dangerous new era? Perhaps it was both. Because on that morning in 1945, when the bomb fell and the city turned to fire, humanity crossed a line it can never uncross. This is Quest Revealers. If you believe that history's darkest lessons must be remembered to protect our future, then join us. Like, share, and subscribe, because the mysteries and truths of the past are not just stories, they are warnings, and we are here to uncover them.